That is Mr. Huber. Mr. Huber is a craftsman, and each day he makes his way to his customers with his transporter. So far, Mr. Huber has always packed his tools loosely into the trunk. But by doing so, he hazards himself and his staff, and the unfixed parts fly through the trunk when braking. Arriving at the customer, Mr. Huber first of all has to look for his tools in the trunk. Thereby, he loses precious time and keeps the customer waiting. Moreover, seeing the pandemonium in the trunk, the first impression the customer gets is that Mr. Huber works in an unprofessional way. This annoys Mr. Huber and affects the working morale of his staff. Mr. Huber knows he needs tidiness and safety in his transporter. Therefore, he thinks about some vehicle equipment. A friend and colleague tells him, vehicle equipment must be safety tested and its weight has to be as low as possible so that the transporter is easy to handle in road traffic and the fuel costs remain reasonable. It is obvious to Mr. Huber. An expert is needed here. His friend knows the solution. A vehicle equipment supplied by the Wurth professionals. Mr. Kunze, the expert of Wurth, visits Mr. Huber in his business. Together, the two of them plan Mr. Huber's individual vehicle equipment. It consists of protective containers for the trunk, drawers, storage boxes, storage racks, an extendable workbench with bench vise, and a hose support. Mr. Kunze as well allows space for machinery, work protection items, chemistry and tools, and he shows the various elements to Mr. Huber in his presentation vehicle. Mr. Huber becomes aware the equipment is of high quality and Mr. Kunze is very well versed in Mr. Huber's branch of business. Additionally, he recommends to Mr. Huber an aluminium support, step treads for safe loading and unloading, as well as load securing devices. Then Mr. Kunze prepares a 3D plan drawing and an offer with indication of weight. Mr. Huber is enthusiastic. He recognizes the Orsy storage rack from his workshop and finds that the tooling inserts also fit in his vehicle. That makes loading much easier for him. Moreover, his vehicle equipment can be combined with other systems of Wurth, as for example with the scanner system, the cost unit management, the easy hazardous material management, and the machine system. And what is the best? The supply system from now on also works for his vehicle. If expendable items are used up, his seller or his branch keeps supplies coming without delay. Everything fits together. The experience and the complete system of Wurth makes his day-to-day work again a little easier. A big advantage for Mr. Huber: installation is made directly at his place. Consequently, the vehicle is ready for use within a very short period of time, and there are no downtimes. Mr. Huber and his staff now are often spoken to by the customers about their clean and tidy vehicle, and even recommended. That makes Mr. Huber happy and increases the working morale and productivity of his staff. Their vehicle is kept in order and has system now.